Hello everyone, welcome to the Python in Practice project, intermediate level. In this video, we are diving into the topic of object-oriented programming. To practice it, let's solve two tasks together. In the first task, we will first implement a product manager class to handle product operations inside of the cart as add, update, get and delete product. And in the second task, we will build a user system with a base user class and specialized subclasses for admin and user. We will also create a user manager to organize and manage users efficiently. Finally, we will tie everything together with endpoints to simulate how these features would work in real-world application. So let's start building it. So let's start. Let's create the FastAPI project first. And inside of this FastAPI project, we will create the first products application. Let's create the package products and also main.py file. Next, we are creating the virtual environment. And let's activate it. Inside of this virtual environment, we are installing the FastAPI and Unicorn. FastAPI was installed and version of it is 115. And Unicorn version is 0.33. Next, let's create the views.py file inside of products application. And inside of this views.py, we are creating the API router for this products application. And let's create our first endpoint for the products. So we will have this endpoint just for the testing purposes to make sure that application works. Next, let's go to the main.py and create the application here. So in this case, we initialized the application for the FastAPI. Then we created the general prefix for the path in the API router as a v1 API. So v1 is first version of the API. Then we included the products router, and into the app we included the actual router that we created. And in this case, our application should work already in browser with one single endpoint that we created for the hello world response. Let's check it. So the server was started. Let's go to the browser. And you see that in browser we have the one single endpoint v1 API products as we expected with tag products. And if we expand it, click on the try it out, execute, and we see our response, hello world. So initial application configuration is finished. Let's go further. Next, inside of the products, let's create the file called manager. And inside of this manager file, we will create the class product manager, which will help us to manage the products inside of cart. And this cart will be the attribute of this manager, which contains the dictionary of the different products inside of it, which will have the key as ID of the product, and the product will be general value of this dictionary. So let's start doing that. So this is kinda the card that we are going to have, and inside of this attribute we will have the all of set of products that we want to manage. And inside of this manager I'm going to create four methods as add, get, update, and delete product inside of this products attribute. So we created add product method, and inside of this method the first thing that we need to do is to check if product already in products card. So if the product is already there, then we raise the HTTP exception with 400 error to the front-end side with the message as a product already exists. If not, then we add product with product ID as a key and the product value as a general value to the card. And now I'm going to create rest of the methods. In this case, for the get method, if we didn't find the product inside of products, we just raise the HTTP exception to the front-end side with a 404 status code and the message that product not found. And in case the product exists, then we just return the actual product value. Here's the error that we need to add not in products. So in this case again, we need to check if products dictionary has the product that we want to update. If it doesn't have, then we return the 404 error with the product not found message. If it exists, then we update the product dictionary with product ID as a key and product value as a general value. In case of delete, again we check if product ID not in products, then raise the error. If it exists, then we just remove this product from the card. So let's create the instance of the product manager, and inside of instance we will manage all of this behavior and all of this data of the products. In this case we can manage this product manager with the methods, for example, as add product, get product, etc. And inside of this product manager, in the public products attribute, we will have all of the data that we will manage as a card. So in this case, these methods, all of these methods are public. So add, get, update, we can call them on the product manager instance. But in case we create this method with underscore as a first character of the name of this method, then this method become as a protected, and it will show us the error like access to the protected member. The same for the attributes. If, for example, we create the attribute as with the underscore, it will say us that we are trying to access the protected attribute. So in this case, it's not recommended. But anyway, it will work. So for example, if we access with the one underscore to the method or to the attribute, then it will work. But it's not the best practice from the Python language, because it just marked as a protected and it shouldn't be used. So this add product can be used, for example, just inside of another methods. For example, self add product, like this. So in this case, that's okay. Or for example, in inherited classes, then also we can call the protected methods. But on the instance, it's kind of restricted in this case. If we want to make it really restricted, we can use the two underscores here. So in this case, it will be really private and we will not be able to access to that. So this add, it says that on this instance we don't have the add product method, but also it has the workaround. We can use the name of the class, for example, here. Then we can access to this method this way, which is not really recommended. If so, in this case, it makes sense to create the public methods as add product and private method just to access to these methods or attributes inside of the class. Yeah, so let's create our first protected method inside of product manager. In this protected method, we will check, for example, if the product exists in the products instead of this condition. So let's create it. So yes, this is protected, and then it's valid. Call it from this place, like this. Next, let's change all of these conditions, but in this case we should have this not inversion. So first of all, we need to add not, and then call the method. The same way for the rest of the methods. So yeah, and that's it. So that's how our manager will work with the products card. And in this case, we have the 4 public methods to add, get, update, and delete products. And we can manage these products outside of this manager class using the product manager instance. Next, let's go to the views file and create the endpoints which we will use from the Swagger UI to interact with our manager and manage the products inside of cart. First of all, let's create the create product endpoint. For creation, it makes sense to use the post method for the endpoint. According to the HTTP practices, the post is responsible for the creation of the entities inside of the application. So let's use the post here. Product is the body from the post that we expect to have in this endpoint. And we can also create the base model from this product to specify what kind of data we expect here in the body request from the front end. So let's create it. So we will inherit this product from the base model from the pydantic, and let's specify the fields that we expect to have in the product. So yeah, that's it. The fields are specified, and let's use the product manager here to add the product. Yes, that's our first endpoint to add product into the cart. Let's create the endpoint for fetching the product from the cart. To get product from the cart, it makes sense to use method get, because get is responsible for fetching, getting data from the backend side. And in this case, the product will be path parameter. So from the path parameter, we send the product ID. And by this product ID, we will try to find this product in the cart. And if we found, then we return the product data. If we didn't find it, then we return the 404 error to the front-end side with the message that product was not found. In this endpoint, we just use the product manager get product method and send the product ID inside of it. Yeah, so we added two endpoints here, update and delete. For update, we send the product ID as path parameter. And for example, if product not found, then we return 404 error with the message. If it's found, then we update the product value with the product data that was sent from the front-end side. And for delete, the same. So we send the product ID from the path parameters. If we found, then we delete it. If not found, just an error with 404. So let's go testing. I'm reloading the page, and you see that 4 endpoints appeared here. The first endpoint post, get, put, and delete as we expected. So that's for the creation, getting, updating, and deleting of the product from the backend. And for the creation, we shouldn't send the product ID from the path parameters because we send it with the actual data. And for the rest of them, we send the product ID to be able to manage with the specific entity, specific unique entity on the inside of cart, inside of products data. Let's create our first product. So I clicked on the try it out, and in this case we have this body suggestion. It's from the base model product that we created with the 3 fields as ID as integer, name as string, and price as float. And in this case, let's create the first product as apple, for example. And price will be 10. Let's execute it. And you see the message, apple was added. So we added the apple into our cart. If, for example, I want to add apple second time, then you see it says that product already exists. So yeah, it's restricted to create the duplicated products in our cart. So let's try to get this apple. By the product ID 1 in the path parameters, we made a request with v1 API products 1 in the path as a path parameter, and we've fetched the apple product with ID 1 and price 10. If, for example, we specify here the ID 2, then we got the 404 with the message as product not found. Next, put. So that's for the update product. So in this case, we send the product ID again in path parameters, and the data that expected, the body of this data, again, it's from the base model product values. So the product ID is 1, ID again, we are not going to change it, it's the same one. And let's change the name of the product to the banana, for example. And the price will be 20. And you see product banana was updated. So if, for example, we get product by product ID 1, it will be changed to the banana. And if, for example, we delete it from here, you see product 1 was removed. So if, for example, I will try to fetch it again, product not found. If I will try to update it, product not found. And if I try to delete it again, product not found. So now I can just add it because our cart is empty. Thank you for watching this video and see you soon in the next one. Bye.